Silent Siren with Lady Go. I am really excited about this. This is the latest single off of their new album that will be coming out early next year. I think it's called More Than Pink. I am also excited. I'm excited about this for so many reasons. I mean, one of them, obviously, if you don't know, big fan of Silent Siren anyway, have been for very, very many years. And I am just kind of always hopeful for this band to do well. They've obviously been through a lot. They had their hiatus. They came back. They came back with a really good, solid first mini album to get them back on their feet. And it was good. It wasn't the most spectacular thing they released, but it was good. And then recently we've had things like Maybe Baby Blue from this new album, which is sounding really promising. I've had some issues with maybe the way it's mixed and mastered. I don't think it's got quite as much punch and life in the mix as their original old stuff did, but they seem to be so much on form as an actual band. I am really excited about this new album, and I don't know, just something about the way they've been promoting this song, Lady Go. I mean, the name, it reminds me of stuff like Go Away, which was a really fun song from back on the SaiSai's album. The whole look of it, the whole thing of them being in a car, I get the feeling there's just this feeling of there's going to be some energy. Yes, on the cover they look a little bit daydreamy, but I just get the feeling there's going to be some energy. So I'm hoping we're going to have something poppy, bright, or just something with a bit of oomph. Get us back into that high-spirited feeling like Maybe Baby Blue did. I want to be sort of jumping up and down, enjoying the joy of life feeling that Silent Siren gives us. This song came out last night. I was exhausted after a very, very busy day. So I thought I'd leave it till this morning to check it out. And here I am checking it out now. I've given a link to everyone in my community, so probably everyone else has heard this already. I'm excited. Let's go. Let's Lady Go. No, let's just go. Okay, suddenly got it Motorhead. I'm loving the use of keyboards, but it's still got this really sort of heavy rocking sound to it. I'm loving the build-up of energy. Usual comment, how are they going to pay it off? There is definitely this really sort of like much more urgent rock energy about this song. I feel like someone's lit up. I feel like someone's really lit a fire under them. And having the multiple vocals as well. They're having fun on this. Where are we going with the bridge though? Bass solo. This is not at all what I expected. I love that classic style sort of like key change bridge. This is a really, really unexpected turn. You can really hear the bass hammering away there. Okay. All right, that's what we're doing. Now, it's not like Silent Siren have never played with doing something a bit heavy before, but wow, did they lean into it here. I mean, that sort of driving bit. Obviously, they have a lot of keyboarding, which I love. I love the fact they're really using Yukarun's sound. Now, I think especially as a three-piece, you're hearing Yukarun pushed much more forwards, which is great because it gives the band that extra identity, having those really clear keyboard sounds. Where I think sometimes in the older Silent Siren, they did like have her slightly mixed too far back, I felt. And it was, it was a bit of a shame that she wasn't as prominent. So I'm loving hearing her so far forwards. But that, with the exception of that, the main part of it, if you like, the riff of the song, the layup of the song is kind of almost like some kind of Motorhead style charging. You're really hearing sort of the rattling, the body of the bass. The guitar is very much sort of like doing a really intense, simple riff. It's very much a charging kind of rock song for the best part. I found it kind of interesting. I was listening, and this has got the drum beat, I think, is probably one of the signature things that most connects this back maybe to old Silent Siren, rather ironically actually, because the beat had that sort of classic SaiSai kick hat snare hat kick hat snare hat thing, which I've always joked, if you play that at mid tempo, that's kind of like what I refer to as the disco shuffle, the kick hat snare hat kick hat snare hat sort of thing. It's kind of, it's that beat that appears in so many Silent Siren songs brought into this song. I'm not sure 100% if I think that's the best choice of beat for this song, but it's kind of nice because it adds a little bit of Silent Siren flavor to it. But overall, the question is really, does this work? And the first thing I have to get my head around is just being so surprised by what this is. But does it work? Oh yeah, it's really entertaining. It's 4 minutes of really good rocking fun. And again, I do like the fact that it manages to do that rocking energy, but also add something different. They're bringing something different to that. The keyboard sound adds so much to this. I love that it's kind of got that energy with the keyboards. Actually, in a way, it almost reminds me a little bit, obviously Silent Siren being a band, the quick first thing you compare it to is sort of like their heavier peers who do this kind of style of music much more often. But in actuality, this musically reminds me a lot of the alt-idol groups who are doing sort of like rock idol music, because of course Sue's voice, she's got this beautiful but very I don't want to say light voice, because actually her voice, if you hear her singing a cappella especially, she's got this really beautiful tone to her voice, but it's quite a high vocal range that she sings in. And then you have got basically very sort of rocky underpinnings, but there is a sense that the production is quite pop leaning with the keyboard as well. So I feel like this actually, in a way, sonically reminds me a lot of what we hear from a lot of the rock idol groups, which is nice because that's an area where there's a lot of development. There's a lot of artists who are doing a lot in that territory. So hearing Silent Siren do something like that is great. I think this really, if I were to be honest, this has so many levels on which it could be on which you could judge what you think of it. Now, I would say the first thing and the most important thing to me is, how does it sit as a Silent Siren song, and how will it sit in this album? Well, given everything we've heard of this album so far, I think this is interesting. This is like totally different from what we've heard of this album thus far. It's a really cool song. It's got this fantastic energy to it. It's different. It still sounds like Silent Siren. It's got a great energy. I think this is a really good sign. We're going to get a really interesting album. I'm really excited for this. So that's great. How does it stand up against its peers? That's a bit of a difficult thing because I feel like again, the problem this might have is I suspect that it's going to walk into a little bit of a middle ground where people looking for a heavy rock song will probably go more to bands who do heavy rock in more of a traditional way, you know, sort of your band Major Love Bites, that kind of thing. People going to idol rock might therefore veer to something which is a little bit more idol-esque. You know, so this is kind of in the middle ground where I'm not sure whether there's a lot of people doing similar sounds to this. I'm not sure whether it's how it's going to work on that. Yeah, it might be able to bring across fans from different fan bases, which would be amazing. But I don't know whether it's going to get lost a little bit in the middle ground. So I mean, like I said before, I'm really hopeful that this new album does great things for Silent Siren to bring them a little bit more back into the public consciousness. I know that they're never going to be like quite as big as they were with major label backing before, but I really want them to still have that attention that they deserve because what they do is so cool, is so special. I would be interested to know whether this is going to bring them in new fans. I certainly hope it does. I feel that it's at risk of getting lost in that middle ground between what other people are doing and, you know, maybe sort of being a mix of two things rather than the best of any one world. But as a Silent Siren song for someone who is already a Silent Siren fan, who is already excited about the new album and who knows this is going to be on that album, sign me up. This is great. I really enjoy it. It's a 4-minute blast of just pure fun energy. I think it's going to be great live as well. I should comment, because I have said about the mastering and production that I feel has been an issue since they came back. So we had this before, just the whole youthful thing. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of how this is mastered and mixed. I think it is a little bit too squidgy and compressed sound. I don't feel it's got the life it needs. So I feel, especially a song like this, I think it would sound better if it had a lot of punch to it. I don't feel like the recording necessarily lets that come out hugely. So I'm going to say that thing I don't get to say very often, which is that I would be very excited to hear the live version of this. I think the live version of this is going to be freaking awesome. But this is just so cool. I really like this. I think it's great for Silent Siren fans. I think it's great for variation. I was a little bit concerned when they came back that maybe they wouldn't be quite as eclectic as they were before, and this new album they are just showing so much sign of how eclectic they want to be and can be, and this song is a really fantastic example of that. I think that hopefully I'd like to hear the mixing and mastering get a little bit better maybe after this album, but I'm just happy if the music's good, and the music is good. Silent Siren, I'm so excited. Yeah, I'm always honest on this channel. I don't just sit here kissing asses, you know. I say exactly what I think, which I feel that's a much more genuine compliment than just go wow to everything. But for me, as a Silent Siren fan, this has me excited. I would be very interested to know how this sounds for a non-Silent Siren fan, especially if you were a fan maybe of hard rock or maybe rock idol music, how you would view this. But I personally really enjoyed this. I'm definitely going to be listening to this again. Anyway, those are my thoughts. As always, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.